So,
Who's first?
so Tiki, this is great to hear these comments, and you're clearly an incredibly thoughtful, dynamic, and optimistic person, which I think is
Very.
pretty cool. So, sorry to bring it away from sports into something that's sort of a bit of a downer question, but you look at the craziness that's going on in the world today because of COVID,
That's
and
right.
forget the political crap. Let's not get into that dimension. Forget that, But
Yeah.
from COVID, I mean, the world is obviously changing a lot. I'm kind of curious from your perspective, what do you think something positive comes out of it in the couple of year time frame, and what's something negative that comes out of in a couple of
Yeah,
years?
I think it's a very interesting question. I haven't thought about it, so this is coming off the top of my head. I will tie slightly political for a second. So, um, when Memorial Day happened and George Floyd was murdered, we were all sitting at home, right? There was nothing dividing our interests. There was nothing that could distract us from what was to become the racial reckoning that's happening in this country, right? And I think one of the positives of the coronavirus, even though it's not necessarily related, is that we were presented with this massive moment in history at a time when we could all accept it, right? We could all process it. We could all think about it, get angry about it, try to change or try to be conciliatory. Whatever your emotion was, it was visceral, but it was happening because we were idle. And so, in some ways, this change that is forced, just to keep bringing it back to sports, the Washington football team to change their name, that has allowed the NFL and Roger Goodell to change their stance on the Colin Kaepernick-like issue, for the NBA and for the NHL even to start an inclusion program. The NHL started an inclusion program. I mean, I can't even name a black hockey player, right? So all of this happened because we were all idle during this moment of reckoning in our country. So that's a positive from this, and I think it's lasting, right? I think it's something that's not going to go away when the world gets back to normal. We're all forced to think more deeply, even me, more deeply about what equality is, what equity is, and there's a difference there. I did a seminar with Stephen Ross's Ross Institute for Sports and Equity, and they ask a very simple question. What's the difference between equality and equity? Now, equality is giving everybody the same thing. So, and they used an example of people trying to look over a fence to watch a game. A tall man is standing there. He can look over the fence without having this piece of equality. There's a girl in the middle who needs that extra stoop to see over the fence. And then there's a little kid who has that same box, but he still can't see. Equality is giving everyone that same box, but what equity is giving everyone what they need. So this tall guy, he doesn't need the box. So he has to sacrifice, or he voluntarily sacrifices his resource to give it to the kid who now needs two boxes. And so there's this very slight difference that I wouldn't have thought about or looked into if it hadn't been for what's happening in the world. So that's a positive for this. I think the negative is that there is going to be a lot of downstream health issues that we just don't know. It's going to surface 10 years from now, and people who are otherwise healthy are going to see the residual of the coronavirus from a health standpoint. So those are the things that worry me.
Very impressive answer. Thank you.